I'm Allie, and this is Wisdom for Living. 3 minutes of your week, wisdom for a lifetime. Well, there's no doubt about it. We live in very strange times with all the technology we have, and all the time-saving devices, and all the life-enhancing tchotchkes we surround ourselves with. I think it's fair to say that there's never been a generation that's more characterized by anxiety, by lack of well-being, by the inability to stay emotionally afloat. In Hebrew, we call this menuchat hanefesh. It means a calm, positive, trusting spirit. Why is it so elusive? Part of the reason is because a lot of our emotional pain comes from the fact that our thinking gets lodged in two places. Both of those places we cannot control, influence, or affect. So what are those two places? One is the past. What I could have said, what I could have done, what she should have done differently, what should have happened differently, what was. The other place, the future. What's going to be, what's going to happen, how am I going to handle this? So what's the common denominator? Like I said, both the past, that was, and the future, which will be, leave us impotent. We have no ability to control the past, what was, or the future, what will be. And the sum total, when our thinking gets lodged in those two places, is brokenness, despair, zerbrochen. We just feel, what should I do? So, a piece of advice that's worth holding on to comes from King David himself. He said in the book of Psalms, Al zot yitpalel. So I'm translating loosely, but it means a person has to affix their thinking, has to focus their thinking on al zot, this moment, the moment of time that they find themselves in now. And they have to ask themselves, what does God want from me now? If my thinking gets lodged in the past, what I could have, should have said, or if it gets lodged into the future, what's going to be, how am I going to handle it, the sum total of my feelings is going to be broken. Al zot yitpalel. A person needs to focus their thinking on the very moment of time that they find themselves in and ask, what can I do now? A very quick story about a client, and I'm going to fuzz the details a little bit because it's a real person. I'll call him Mark. He was very broken because of a relationship with his son. For years had been very estranged, and he had tremendous guilt about the way he had fathered him. He was distracted, and he wasn't present, and he had a lot of grief and guilt, and he bought him a lot of gifts, and they were very estranged. He was also very upset because his son and his wife had a baby, and he was very afraid what's going to be. I'm not going to have a relationship with this child. They're not going to let me into their life. So he was a nervous wreck. And I said to Mark, Mark, the kind of core of your distress lies in the fact that you're not in al zot, this moment. You're lodged in what was, and you're lodged in what could be. And the sum total is you're broken. What do you really want? What did he say? A relationship with my child. How are you going to get there? Well, we decided to write a letter. And he sent a letter to his children, and I'm happy to tell you that this fairy tale really did end well, and they redeveloped their relationship. Focus on the al zot, and be careful of when your thinking gets lodged in the two places that you simply can't influence.